Hello, comic bookworms, fellow comic bookworms, or fellow otakus. Surprise!
Surprise.
Surprise! It's just random video, random, you know, live, random hangout. So
Random hangout. Yeah.
random hangout.
So, the reason I wanted to jump on with Namyang Young was because we're meeting up tomorrow.
Yeah,
And I've talked a lot on my channel about Unmyeong. And I really felt like it was Unmyeong when, we first connected online,
yeah,
which was almost a year ago, wasn't it? It was
yeah.
like
Almost it.
almost a year ago.
Yeah,
And it felt like we were kind of just destined to become friends.
it,
And yeah,
it, it, ha- it had to have happened for a reason, right? Either
right? Yeah, it
yeah,
just
either
felt
life is meaningless. You have two choices. You have e- either life is just random and meaningless, right? Or it's meaningful, and something like this is something that's meaningful and it has umyong or has fate to it, right? So, and I just choose. I want to choose to believe that it means something, not meaningless, right?
I look at it totally as, yeah, unmyeong,
Yeah,
because how do two people from the same originally from the same country,
yeah.
um who arrived in the same
At different
around the
time.
same time. Well, actually, I came in 76, you came in 74,
Oh,
right?
okay, okay,
So
okay.
right around the same time, we come to the same country.
I told you I like coffee, right?
It's coffee
It's a,
beer.
oh,
Oh, that's good
it's a,
stuff.
yeah, quarter.
For
It's
Mhm.
yeah.
That's good stuff. But again,
Hey,
we
big bit.
we came to this country right around the same time, didn't know each other. He lived in Oklahoma, I lived in California and Washington.
Big bit.
All this time goes by, and we meet post pandemic, kind of online, or during the pandemic, right? We meet, um, and we're just separated by distance. Virginia, I'm in Washington,
Yeah, east to west.
east west. But we maintain this friendship because we both have a passion for comic books, and we share sort of a cultural identity in our experience here, and
Yeah.
our love for comic books. I think that's where it really stems from. Our love for
Love for
comic
comic
books.
books, and then we happen to enjoy similar artists like Jim Lee and uh, Superman is one of our. I mean, our favorite characters. I mean, it's like
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
we'll be competing for Superman books tomorrow. I was
oh,
thinking like, oh boy, I better dig for the Superman books before now.
you
Gonna
start
get some.
saying, yeah. If you guys don't know, we're gonna go to the same comic book shop tomorrow. Uh,
Yep.
Otaku tour guide is gonna give me the tour guide of a comic book shop in Seattle area. So yeah,
And we're going to actually a really good one. It's got a lot of 25-cent book bins. It's got really good discounted key books, a good selection of Bronze Age that's not overpriced. So I think it'll have a little bit of every, and wall books. So it has wall books as well. So if you want to spend on a big book, you can get a big book. He actually has some Golden Age Shazams. I don't know if he still has them, but he had some reasonably priced Golden Age Shazams also. But yeah, we're going to Ancient Comics. So the plan tomorrow is, Hyung, I'm going to pick you up around 8 a.m.
okay.
We're going to go to Federal Way and have kukbap, which is just like soup, like morning soup and rice.
Like a bone soup or
Yeah, there's yukgaejang, seolleongtang, galbitang. They have all the different
oh, okay.
soups. I think they even have sundaekguk if you want sundaekguk, if
Uh,
that's your
my
style.
wife said if they have a sundae, make sure you mark that place down.
No,
So
I think you're gonna like this place. This place is
okay.
looks pretty. I've never been. I don't go to Federal Way all that often, but I do know Federal Way has the best Korean food in this
And
area.
if you guys don't know what sundae is, it's blood sausage.
Bloody sausage. Yeah.
Blood sausage.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's good
Koreans
stuff.
love. I mean, if you guys like sausage, I think you would like sundae. Yeah. So
It's got like a smell to it. I don't know if most Westerners would like the smell, but it's good. It's definitely
yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah. Once it goes into your mouth and taste it, that smell goes away. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Especially in the soup. In the soup, it doesn't smell at all. But like if you're having it sliced, it comes like steamed, right? It comes steamed. It has a
and it
little
has,
bit of a smell to it.
yeah, and you dip on a salt, pepper, and red pepper, and
Yeah. Good stuff.
it's good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah.
So we're gonna
Yeah.
have breakfast there, and
All right.
then head over to the comic shop around 10 a.m. and spend either all day there, or we could, just find what we find, and then if we have time, hit up another place. There's a place in Auburn, which is only like maybe 15, 20 minutes away. It's on our way back to Renton, actually, so we could hit there. They're open till like 7 as well, so we could hit up that place, and then I'll drop you off back home.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. So Beefit is saying I used to go Cambodian restaurant and there's soup called kuato. It smelled like old socks, but it was delicious. Yeah. I mean, if you guys don't like smelly food, I mean, come on, cheese. Think about cheese. When I first smelled cheese coming to the United States, and then at first when I ate cheese, a lot of Korean people were saying that it tastes like a soap, you know. And another thing was nothing that's smelly food in the United States. Dorito chips. I guess that's a more of Mexican food, but Dorito chip, the red Doritos, it smells like old socks if you really smell it. so, so if you get over that, then I think everything should be fine. I mean,
it is interesting how culture plays such a big role in what we view as like things we can eat and things we can't eat. Like there are things I'll admit there are things I've traveled throughout Asia. I'll try everything, but there are things that I've tried and I'll be like,
I will not try the monkey brain thing. I will not try that.
I haven't tried that. But
No,
like I went to the Philippines,
yeah.
and they have this dish called balut, which is basically a duck embryo. It's a egg. Duck
I
egg.
would like to say that. I will not do that.
Yeah, and it's an embryo cooked in soup.
Yeah.
I tried it. The soup is good, and I actually swallowed the duck embryo. It's just a little baby duck.
Yeah.
It's soft and it goes down pretty easy, but like it's just a cultural thing. Like if you grew up Filipino, like eating that would just be eating any other thing you grew up eating, right? But because I was like 40 at the time and had never tried it, I was just like, oh, I don't know if I.
No, something that
like
I would not try is like I saw I think on a YouTube or TV where they had this live monkey. They cut off his head, the skull, and they were dipping into. He put him in They blocked his mouth so he can't scream.
Yeah.
And they were poking at the brain.
He's
And I'm
still
like,
alive, huh?
yeah, that's just too cruel.
Cool. Yeah.
It just. I mean, I don't need to have food that badly, right? I mean. So.
And that's the way I feel about Koreans eat dog. So we'll just put it out there. Koreans eat dog. I'm sure it's not a surprise to anybody. And I had never eaten dog until I actually got out to Korea, which was when I was as an adult. And I hadn't planned on eating dog, but I went to one of my friend's wedding bachelor parties, and he was serving dog, and I was like, "Is there anything else to eat besides dog?" He's like, "No, this is it, and you're gonna eat it." And so I had to eat it, which was fine because it was actually really good. I mean, it was just meat, right? But the problem I have with eating dog, and I know this is gonna like repulse a lot of people because Americans view dogs as family. They
Right.
view them as an extension of family, and I get that. Um, but Koreans started eating dog post-war because there wasn't anything to eat. It's not like Koreans actually use dogs as pets as well
Yeah.
throughout history. It's just after a post-war period, there wasn't anything to eat. They ate dog, and
Sniper.
the population grew a taste for it. So it's a fairly new thing. It's not like Koreans were eating dog from like centuries ago when food was more plentiful. But anyway, getting back to the point, it's they cook it in a soup, and they also prepare it like you would kind of like boiled meat, and then you just slice it up. And I had it, and I gotta say, like as food, it was actually really good. I've had the soup as well, but the one thing I don't like about dog is Koreans believe like um, killing the dog with violence, like violently beating the dog to death, uh, gets the dog to produce adrenaline, and it softens the. I mean, they have these just like distorted views about how to prepare it, and that's what I
Yeah.
really.
How to
That's what I
butcher the
really,
dog. Yeah.
yeah, how to butcher the dog, and it's
Yeah.
really just
Yeah.
an inane, absolutely cruel, and I don't I don't condone it.
Now that now that Korean people, we used to raise our dogs outside. Now a lot of Korean family are raising their dogs inside, and they become a lot. Korean have become a dog being a
Anti-dog, yeah, yeah,
pet being a pet. It has become a common thing. So eating dog has become less and less. It's more of a back alley kind of thing. They don't go out there and try to advertise because there's a lot of people are pointing fingers at it. So
yeah.
it's not.
There's a huge anti-dog eating
Yeah,
population now in Korea, so they're actually anti-dog eating. Um,
especially
they'll,
with
yeah.
with their cruel brutality butchering methods.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a huge public backlash. So I mean, you're right. Modern Koreans don't eat dog. It's really sort of like the older Koreans, the ones who
Yeah,
have nostalgia for it because it got them through, tough
and
times.
they have this myth about dog being viral,
Yeah,
good for the viral immense viral.
yeah. It helps men produce. It's
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
garbage. Yeah.
yeah.
So
But
I knew Namyan Hung and I would have the same. See, this is the thing. Like we never talked about this before, but you and I have the same view about eating dog, right? We don't eat
yeah,
it. We just
yeah.
don't eat it. But I've tried it. I
I
think
tried
it's actually
when
good.
I
It's actually
actually
good.
tried it. My mom told me when she prepared it. My mom told me it was bear meat because she knew I was not going to eat it, right? But bear meat, yeah, bear meat. I ate it, and it actually tasted good. Then later on, she told me, like, "Oh man," and I just, you know, but
Well, it's interesting. My wife is Japanese, and she came to this country for the first time, what, 5 years ago? She's been in the country 5 years now. And she does not like turkey. We had turkey this year. She actually prepared it.
mm,
But every time she eats it, she's like, the more and more I eat it, the more I'm convinced I don't like it. Because
mm,
she says, and this is one thing I think Americans probably know won't know it as much, but she's eaten chicken all her life, right? So when she eats turkey, there's a smell. It's a little oilier. There's a smell associated with turkey, and that's what turns her off. She's like, she says it smells,
yeah, it
and
does
it
smell.
does. It does.
Yeah,
If you like objectively eat turkey and smell it, there's a distinct odor to it. But
yeah,
I love turkey. I was
yeah.
like,
My dad cooked the heck out of turkey. He cooks it overnight. He's been doing it for 40 years. Uh,
wow,
he cooks it overnight, but it takes about 4 hours. he bastes the heck out of it in butter, pepper and salt, and I mean, the thing once it comes out, it no resemblance to the original turkey smell because of all the other stuff that goes into it, right? But yeah, but if you used to just eating chicken, turkey definitely has,
Right.
yeah, it has a smell, and it's
Yeah.
hard to get used to it.
Yeah. Like if you eat duck, duck actually doesn't have a smell. Duck is really good. But when you eat turkey, there is a definite aftertaste and a smell. I love it because I grew up eating it since I was young, and I know NamMan is, you probably grew up eating it as well. It's a
Yeah,
tradition,
I,
right?
I just, you know what? Turkey is a secondary thing. Only reason I eat turkey because it's nostalgia, and it sort of comes with stuffing. The stuffing is the one I love. So,
Oh, yeah, stuffing.
turkey is a side thing. Like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, well, if you have stuffing, you gotta have turkey. So,
yeah, stuffing is good. I love stuffing too. Mashed potatoes. I love the whole Thanksgiving thing. I mean, corn, cranberry
my
sauce,
dad does awesome ham.
green beans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
green bean casserole. Uh,
pumpkin pie, everything. I just Thanksgiving in our household was my parents went all out for Thanksgiving, and they did it traditionally American style. There was no kim. This is the thing. What we would do with our leftovers, we'd make turkey kimchi fried rice with the
really?
leftovers.
Okay.
Yeah, because you tear apart the meat and you fry it up with kimchi. It's the best thing ever.
My mom made a turkey noodle soup.
Uh
I
huh.
didn't like those. I didn't like those. I would rather try kimchi fried rice than a turkey
Oh,
noodle
it's
soup.
good. Yeah. I mean, I look forward to that more than
But
almost as much as
that's
I look
really
forward to turkey.
odd. That's really odd because my dad cooked. I mean, first year when we got our own house, that's when he started cooking turkey. Oh, Americans cook turkeys, and he started learning how to cook turkey. And ever since then, it became our house tradition. Cooking turkey it became our house tradition. It's odd, like you say, Umyang. It seems like your house took on the same kind of culture. I mean, adapted the American
Oh
culture.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
My parents, we did Christmas, we did Thanksgiving, we did all the holidays like America. And I think it was their way of connecting us to American culture because outside of those like two holidays, we pretty much were Korean. We were pretty much
Well, I mean,
straight up Korean, like
I,
temjang jjigae every night and
I was
stuff
saying
like
the
that.
other day when I was saying Happy Thanksgiving, and then I realized we are. I don't like Beefhead. I think he's not from the United States, right?
Yeah.
But
Mutton bird. What is mutton bird? Oh, so like a seagull? You're eating seagulls, huh? I don't know if I've
oil
ever eaten a
will soak
seagull.
through the paper it's wrapped, and it will make the paper transparent.
Seagull doesn't look good. I think crows and seagulls would not taste good.
We, uh, we cannot avoid this in Korean either. But
In Korea, if you don't like your family members, tough luck. Pretty much are at just close quarters with them, like 24/7.
yeah, beef is from New Zealand, so uh,
Oh, New Zealand. Okay,
and
seabird.
but in Korea we have Chuseok. Chuseok is what we and it's sort of like we're celebrating the
Harvest.
harvest, harvest. You know, so you always come celebrate the
Full moon harvest.
harvest moon days, and so since the Koreans celebrate Chuseok, Thanksgiving Thanksgiving became our Chuseok when we first came here.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, yeah. Camera Chuseok.
Albatross. Ooh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd eat albatross.
I mean, I tried those, but again,
I'm sure
maybe
it tastes like chicken. I'm sure something
I would
like
not.
chicken.
I would not. No long. I mean, I tried one dog once when I was a little boy. I would not try that. I would not try the monkey. I would not try. The. But rest of them, like I'll try it. You know, even the bird thing, I would try it once. I guess, but if I had to, but you call it, what do you call it? Those embryo,
Embryos. Hmm.
yeah, embryos, the egg. I mean the bird embryos. What do you call
Yep.
that?
Balut. Balut.
Balut. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Balut's good actually. I did like the taste. It was just the sensation of eating a lot. Like eating like a baby
Would
bird.
you chew on it? Would you chew on it?
No, you don't chew on it. You kind of
Oh,
just you kind of put it in your mouth and you just swallow it whole. Like you just slurp it into your mouth and swallow it. And it's the soup
does
that's
it
the
have an
soup.
egg? Does it feel like an egg when? Because I
No,
never stuck the egg in before.
it's like a burr. It's actually a. You can feel the bones and everything, like the
Ew.
soft bones. Yeah, it has feathers and everything. So
I don't know. I don't want to.
yeah, that's what exactly. That's exactly my reaction. I was like, okay, I tried it. Not gonna try it again.
Maybe get me some of these in me with the whiskey on top of it.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't think I tried that.
I've tried a lot of things that I never tried in Korea. Actually, like silkworm. That
Pandegi.
yeah, bandegi.
I love pandegi. I love pandegi.
I I don't. I mean, I've tried it. It's actually not bad, but there is a smell associated with it. I'm just not used to the smell, so I
So,
never
hey,
liked
would you?
it.
I just
My
read
mom loves it.
FDA approved laboratory grown chicken meat. Would you eat that?
No,
Why not? It just
because I
tastes
don't
like
know.
chicken.
Yeah, I don't know if it. I don't know.
FDA
It
approved
just
it.
too. It just sounds too science fiction.
I mean,
You
it's
know.
less brutal. I mean, you don't kill chicken anymore. You don't.
Yeah, I
Would you
just don't.
grow like with lab
You
grown
know
steak?
uh they serve crickets they serve like stir fried crickets at Safeco Field at the baseball park. They're
You-
like grasshoppers. They
Yeah,
cook up grasshoppers, like fry them,
I
and
love
they
those.
get crunchy.
Really crunchy. And they taste like peanutty taste.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very good.
They serve them at Safeco. I don't like eating insects. I think.
Mm.
I mean, I'll try it. I'll definitely go to the ballpark and try it, but I already know I won't like it.
Mm.
I'll be like, oh, well, you
I,
could eat
I
some
I
other
used to
stuff.
eat those when I was a little kid, so I got used to it. I mean,
Mhm.
pandegi was something that you snack on,
Yep.
after school.
Yeah, because you were what 10 when you got
Yeah,
here?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So you were eating bundegi all the time, probably.
yeah, yeah. It was like that was only a snack around.
Yeah.
That I could afford, right?
Yeah.
So
I think the first time we went back to Seoul, my mom was like, "You got to try this," and she was like just devouring bundegi. That's her like favorite snack. And I looked at it, I'm like, "No, I'm not eating that." I was like 6 or 7 at the time. Like, nope, I'm not eating that.
did I tell you about me? I'm sending what's her name? I forgot her name now. I sent the fellow comic book community, or she collects pops and stuff and other stuff. I sent her some Korean food, including pandegi and kimchi, and she actually cooked something with the pandegi.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, she
She liked
cooked
it?
the. Yeah, she actually. Her and her sister, they both loved it. I
Yeah.
need to send the. I need to send you the link and have you watch it.
I think I would like bundegi more if it wasn't in the soup. If it was like crispy and fried or something, it
Yeah,
probably
they
tastes
actually
better.
fried it. They
Okay, they
fried it.
fried
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
But the bundegi comes in the soup and you gotta like like kind of put a toothpick in it and like
One thing it tastes best when they boil it
yeah,
down,
I
and
know.
then they
I know.
scoop it out, and
Yeah.
they wrap up this corn with the
Yeah.
newspaper,
And
and they
then you
put it
stick
into
it.
the
Yeah.
corn, and then
Yeah.
you turn it in a
I had
bottle
I
or
had
something.
bundegi tongue. I had bundegi tongue and it's just essentially the same thing but with the soup. Um, and again, I ate it. I was kind of drunk and just eating stuff, but again, I think it's just culturally, it's not something I'm that accustomed to.
Okay, maybe we did enough of Nobody's coming on.
I know, it's like they're talking about gross Korean food. We're not gonna stick around for this. So tomorrow when we meet up, how do you want to approach the video? Because we're gonna get a lot of video out of this.
We gotta do the mukbang thing, right? I guess we gotta do some little bit of mukbang thing.
Okay, yeah, we'll do shoot at the restaurant. You want to do live at the restaurant or just shoot?
Probably shoot because the live is gonna come out really cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna lean on you for the tripod and setup. I think you have the camera and everything, right?
I got me a camera. I got me this camera right here. So.
Perfect. Okay, and what we'll do is as we set to eat, I'm gonna gift you this. These are your comics.
Oh, okay.
You can unbox them there.
Yeah, I wish I planned this better because I didn't bring my comics, but
that's fine. Yeah, I mean we got lots of time.
Yeah.
So again, we'll unbox this. We'll eat. We'll talk about how this is our first in-person meeting, and really just it feels for me I've been telling my wife, I'm like, how
he's gonna go eat some plums.
go kill an albatross. go get that seagull.
Yeah,
trap the seagull.
But butcher it gently, okay?
That's another thing I love, raw crab.
Oh yeah, I love crab.
간장게장, raw soy crab.
Oh my. You love 간장게장. My mom makes the best.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Your wife know how to cook those things?
She loves it. But she doesn't know how to cook it. She just goes to Korea and eats it. Okay. We go to Korea and we'll eat all the 간장게장 that we can eat. But
do you know a place around here that when we go to the Discovery Park and we walk the beach a little bit and we saw big old crabs on the side, somebody catch and throw them away. There's a lot of crab catching around here.
There's a lot, young. So, and that's another thing we can do. We can go and catch crabs. You just gotta pay for a license and buy one of those crab cages. Mm-hmm. But you could literally put them anywhere in the Puget Sound.
Oh, my wife will love you.
She's gonna love it.
Me to that.
She's gonna love you. Yeah. Also, squid jigging. You can do squid jigging. You have to go out late at night. You shine lights, and it's a little jig that it's not even like there's no bait. It's like a fluorescent jig, like a hook, and you just do this all night. And you'll just start scooping up squid. I used to squid fish. I used to squid fish with my dad all the time, and we'd bring home buckets of squid. It was quite disgusting, actually. I got sick of squid. We were eating squid every night. I was like, imagine being like 10 years old and having squid like every night. You'd get sick of it.
I love sun-dried squid, though.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. We dry it. We just give it away because we had so much squid. We just give it away to families. But my dad.
Those are really good for baseball. I don't know if around here they have something like that. Like the football stadium or baseball stuff.
Dried squid.
Dried squid with the beer.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
Salty and love it. Yeah. That's another thing if you want to get into that, you can do it. That's fun. You just got to go out in the middle of the night. And right now is squid season. It's like dead of winter, middle of the night. It's for that diehard. That's a diehard nakshi. That's diehard.
Simple Simon, how are you, sir?
What's up, Simple Simon?
There's some high-pitched sound happening.
Yeah, I hear it too. I think could be my mic, maybe.
It's intense. Oh. Huh.
Do you hear us though?
Let me try to adjust my mic a little bit. I don't think it's not many.
We were talking about weird. I think it might be on my end. It's probably my mic.
Hmm.
Should I plug out, and plug back in?
Yeah, try again.
All right, hang on.
And also test it. Test it. Hey, there's a link if you guys want to jump in. Anybody want to jump in? It's just a hangout. Me
It's a
and
little better. It's a
better.
little better.
Cool.
I can still hear it though. How's that now? No.
I mean, I didn't hear it from the beginning, so I don't know. I mean,
I don't hear it when you speak, but I hear it when I speak. So I'm just thinking it's on my end.
test 1, 2, 3. Now your turn.
Test 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I hear it.
You hear it?
You want me to hop out and hop back in?
Yeah, try that.
That might help it. All right.
Oh no, I'm alone. It must be me. Is it me? Is it me? Okay. I'm not putting. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, is it me? It's me. Simon's saying it's me.
I can hear it. Yeah.
It's me. Okay. What can I do? Let's see.
Just check your mic connection. Do you have a mic connection?
Well, I'm using the mic from my camera. See if I plugged in properly. Well, I'm using my camera. Let me go ahead and take myself out.
Yeah, I don't hear it anymore. So it was him. What's up, Simon? What's a strange thing you eat down in Australia that Americans would find strange? Do you eat kangaroo or koalas? You're not eating koalas, I would imagine. Dingo.
I tried the.
Oh, I don't hear. Yeah, yeah, you fixed it.
I fixed it. I tried
Yeah.
different driver, so okay.
Okay. Awesome.
Alright. Okay, I tried different driver on it, and so yeah, I hope that's fixed it. All good. All right. Thanks,
All
Simon.
right, good. Thanks,
Come on,
Simon.
Simon. Come on up and tell us what you eat.
Yeah, I asked Simon. I asked Simon what they eat in Australia that Americans would find disgusting.
I think Simon's. From what I hear from his video, he's not a picky eater. I don't think. Yeah, but the Captain Sarah, I think, is a picky eater.
Most Americans are picky. They like.
Well,
I mean, I shouldn't say most. I shouldn't say most. I should say there's a definite, there's a definite group of Americans who don't like eating things outside of what they're comfortable with, and so
yeah, my brother-in-law is a Russian. He has a Russian Jewish descendant, and he looks like a white guy, but yeah, he don't eat fish, no fish at all, nothing from ocean, nothing from the ocean. And for longest time we couldn't.
Does he eat kimchi? Does he eat kimchi?
Yeah, but you gotta tell him. You gotta tell him that we don't put cool in there. You know
Yeah.
the. If we tell him that we didn't use those things, then he probably eat it.
Yeah.
But yeah, a long time we couldn't even cook fishy food near him. Now he sort of accepts it, But yeah,
But would he eat salmon?
no salmon,
No
nothing from
salmon
the sea.
either.
No shrimp, no crab, nothing from the sea.
No clams or anything like that. Wow.
Yeah,
Clam
yeah.
chowder? No. See
No.
that he's a little that's a little weird to be honest. You know.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's a little weird, but I mean, whatever. Everybody's got that, but to say, "Oh, I don't eat stuff from the sea," ridiculous.
Like seaweed, no.
Yeah, like
But yeah, it's.
ridiculous.
I mean that you're cutting out. I don't know how much of you're cutting out if we cut out food from the sea.
Well, that's the thing. Like in Western cultures, that a lot of people don't eat seafood. They don't like seafood,
Yeah,
and if you do like seafood, it's kind of like fried shrimp,
yeah, fried shrimp.
which isn't really seafood at that point. It's just protein that you fried up. Um, calamari, that again, calamari's fried.
They fried it, nothing.
There's just no fishy or fried fish. That's not real fish. So yeah, I mean, um, I love fish. I love mackerel.
Ooh, I love mackerel. I love
Mackerel's the
mackerel.
best.
Yeah,
But Americans don't like mackerel. They just don't think it's like a fish you eat,
yeah. I
which
mean,
I
you
find
like the
strange.
one. You like the one that sashimi mackerels.
Oh, I'll eat that too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I love sashimi. I love raw fish. I'll eat anything sushi on a
yeah.
sushi plate.
I love sea urchin. I love sea urchin.
Sea urchin is the best, especially when it's
I,
like really creamy. You get the creamy kind, no
yeah,
smell. That's the
yeah, I love
best.
sea urchin. Mange, you like mange? We used to eat mange all the time.
I like mange.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know what's that called in English. Mange.
it's
It's not a sea urchin,
like
but
a
a
sea.
sea eel or no? It's like it's red.
It's like crunchy, right? It's sea anemone.
I don't know.
I think it's sea anemone,
Okay.
or it's not sea
Like, I mean, you don't
cucumber.
eat sea cucumber. I think it's
It's
well,
not
no,
sea
sea cucumber.
cucumber.
I like that too, by the way. I
Yeah,
like
I like sea cucumber, but it's not sea cucumber. It's sea anemone, I think.
it. You don't eat the shell. You just eat the what's inside. But
Yeah, I just eat what's
yeah,
inside.
yeah. But the
Um,
shell has a little funky shape, reddish shape.
and it's
Not
crunchy.
a thing
Again, it's
poking
crunchy.
out. If yeah, you eat that, it's
It's just
crunchy
like
too. Yeah.
it's not like a crispy crunchy. It's like a soft crunchy. I don't know how to describe it. It's like
Like a
crunchy but soft,
you eating
like
soft bone.
cartilage. Yeah, like
Yeah,
cartilage or
soft.
something.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
cartilage, right? Yeah.
It's weird. It's that's what you eat it for, right? Because it's like chewy,
Yeah.
and it's like every time you chew it, like the juice comes out, and it's like, oh,
Like,
okay.
you taste the ocean.
Yeah, it's ocean tasty. It's like chewing and the ocean flavor. Every time you chew on it, the ocean flavor.
We're grossing out a lot of people. Okay, I'm getting out.
I think my favorite has to be though 매운탕. When I go to Busan, my favorite thing to eat there is 매운탕.
Yeah,
I yeah, it's
that's after you get drunk. You know, the meal time is
yeah,
after you get drunk,
yeah.
and all that hot stuff, all the hot seasoning, and hot soup with
Mhm.
all that fish taste, brothy and all that.
Okay, Hyung, let me ask you this. Okay, so I love 매운탕. Okay, I love 매운탕, but I ate something in Korea that Koreans actually like it. I don't like it. Um, have you had the fish gut soup?
No, I don't like those. I don't like those.
Right?
Yeah, I don't like those. I don't like those.
It's essentially fish guts. You boil it in soup, and it basically coagulates into this hard.
Yeah, I don't like those.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Yeah, I don't like
And I was like, why? There, you can eat the fish without the guts. You can eat the fish. You can even eat the fish head, right? You can like eat the entire fish. why would you even consider just separating the guts and eating that in a soup separately? I was asking my Korean friends this, and like because of the texture, don't you like taste the texture? It tastes like a soft, like cheesy, like curd tech. And I'm just like,
No,
oh,
no.
but they're fish guts. That's
I
like
do.
eating fish poop.
I like the fish eggs. I like the fish
Oh, I
eggs.
love fish eggs,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
but
when
not fish
yeah, those fish
guts.
egg soups, those fish egg soup, I love those.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
good. I'll eat
yeah,
that. I'll eat it raw. I'll eat fish egg raw fish eggs.
yeah. Well, I mean
Ikura is is
not
basically
like the
soft
big one, that
rice.
one that pops in your mouth with all the juice.
You're talking
That
about,
one.
yeah. You're talking about what
Uh,
is it?
I'm talking
Ch-
about little ones
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you
The
only
fish
was,
cod
yeah,
roe
yeah. I love
sack.
those when they just pop in your. I mean, pops and
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
love those. Yeah,
yeah,
those are good. But
yeah.
so anyway, so our plan is that have soup, then we'll go to comic book store, do the dollar 25 cents bin, and then yeah, but I'm gonna look at their walls, and I'm gonna of course if a,
First of all, what budget are you working with tomorrow?
well, I mean, if a quarter, probably $10 will do, right? For
Oh
quarter.
yeah, quarter will pick up $40. So I mean,
Yeah,
that's more than
10.
you can
Yeah,
really take
yeah,
carry.
yeah. But I do want to shop for the Bronze Age books they have. That's going to be different budget.
Okay, so you're gonna kind of spend some money tomorrow, is what you're saying,
if
maybe.
there's Bronze Age books there.
They're Bronze Age books there, yeah.
Yeah, because but I was I got that dollar bin thing, right, and I'm so thankful for getting this book right here.
Wow.
Remember that I got this for dollar. It's happens to be reprint of a first issue. The first issue is something probably I don't want to pay for because it's going to be you know in good condition. It's going to be like $100 or something. But
Yeah.
thankfully I got this one not knowing that it was reprint, but got it for dollar and it's reprint of first issue.
Nice.
And so yeah, I and I remember liking these guys when I was first collecting and picking them up from those wire racks, and I never read them. I never read them. But I just love the quirkiness of this particular comic book. Like
It's a beautiful book.
it's are you familiar with their stories?
No,
The
I've never
original
read
story.
Metalman, but I know of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this doc, he creates these robots that are metal, and instead of calling it at this time, this is back in 1963 when they first published this, and they called it what did they call it? Responsometer. They call so this doctor, I mean this doc, make these metal men, and he put in, instead of calling them AI, artificial intelligence, he and
Responsometer.
yeah, call it responsometer, and so that and he goes, way they describe it, like there's he thought of everything. I mean, every scientific response they will respond to it. And so, but what the Tina, the one that's platinum, the supposed to be made of platinum, is she's very flirty from the get-go. Doc is going, you're supposed to act like a robot. Why are you acting, why are you flirting around, and just so, so her responsometer,
So cheesy Silver Age.
her responsometer is all screwed up, and then there's someone that are smarter than the other. Oh, we should Doc give me a good responsometer like you, and so like it's really very I don't know, it's quirky as heck. But I guess I like that kind of stuff.
So Young, I actually went to Half Price Books today.
Oh, did
That's
you?
yeah, and I picked up what 8 books.
Yeah. It's amazing how much real science was in Metal Man. They were like talking about, okay, so you see this guy here is what is the he's the mercury, right? So because he gets heat up, he will rise. And they will talk about all the temperature they will melt in and temperature that they will, turn,
So it's like an education on metal. Yeah.
yeah, without actually thinking about it.
Yeah.
All the information in there is
Accurate.
accurate about when they melt, when they go solid, and how malleable they are. So
Yeah.
I was really upset. I didn't know why they didn't have a server.
Yeah, why?
They have every now. You gotta be. They have to be element of chart in the elements, right? Gold,
Platinum.
platinum, bronze is a
Lead.
alloy, so it's not. It doesn't have its own elemental chart item, element. But
Bronze is an alloy of what? Steel and
yes,
copper?
yeah. So, well,
So iron and copper. Uh-huh.
why isn't there silver? Why
Or
isn't there
nickel.
silver?
Is it nickel?
Is
Bronze
it
is nickel and copper? What is it? I'm curious now. What's a bronze an alloy of?
So there's iron, tin, and maybe gold. So, like, why is there's no silver? And somebody said silver is I mean, basically, Tina and silver will be probably competing for.
I think they were going to introduce silver later, probably.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe. We couldn't
I don't
introduce
know about
all the
silver.
metal, right? Because did
All the metal with the elemental.
Yeah.
You know.
What about adamantium? Did they have adamantium in there? Adamantium man, or was it vibranium man?
Those made up elements.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
So yeah, I got a big book. I'll share with you tomorrow what I got today. I got a big book though.
oh, you're not going to share with us today?
I was gonna save it for a video, but should I share it?
Let's see. Go viral.
Well, let's ask. Yeah, let's ask the people in the chat. Do you guys want to see the big book I got picked up today at Half Price Books? Completely random. I went there with my son, just was digging, and I found this book. I was like, oh my god! I found a lot of great books actually. So if I end up sharing, I'll share the 3 big books I got. Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Because you know what, we're gonna tomorrow. I think we're gonna have plenty of
plenty to show off. Okay, let's do this.
Show the topic. So let's do it. All right. All these drum roll. If you're open it in front of us. Oh, he don't have the. See, let's spy on his shelf here. Got Superman Jim Lee book here on the one left side. Batman Jim Lee book on the right side. It's supposed to be bookends. Oh, okay, that one and that one. Then Spider-Man right in the middle. Spawn. G.I. Joe book. What is this one? Oh, okay.
So I couldn't believe. Normally, when I go to Half Price Books and I dig, I might find one big book every.
Is this a 운명 worth story?
This is an Unmyung worthy story because
Fate
it's.
worthy story.
So I'll show
Okay.
you off. I'll show you off one of the books, okay?
Okay.
But it's definitely you're gonna be like, oh my god, when I get to the end, okay? So this is one of the books I picked up.
Holy cow! Holy cow!
It's an Adam Hughes Wonder Woman 84. This is $100 book. It's $100 book. Picked it up half a cover, which is $1.13.
My goodness!
Right?
Oh my goodness!
And that's a pretty big $100 book for $1. That's a pretty big
Pickup, yeah.
pickup. Yeah. This is a $60 book. It's a Jim Lee cover.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Is that
Infinite Crisis
Blue Beetle?
number 5. Yeah, first appearance of Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle. This is a $60 book. Picked it up for $2, half the
Right.
cover.
My
So
goodness.
I mean, those two books alone on a haul would have been like, wow.
Okay, I'm done. Okay.
I'm done, right? That's like one of the best hauls of the year, right? Kind of thing. Let me show you what I got. This is gonna just knock your socks off. Black Panther number 1. Okay. It's a variant Neil Adams cover, and it's 38 out of 100 signed by Neil Adams.
No way!
Yeah. Neil Adams signature book right there. Black Panther number 1, Neil Adams variant. 38 out of 100.
Wow.
So there's only 100 of these things. And there's 100 of these things, and I got a 1 of 100 just from digging at half price books. And the guy at the counter, he saw the book and he's like, oh man, you got you got so lucky. Because he obviously knew who Neil Adams was. But
wow, that's crazy.
Isn't it?
Hey, Simple Simon, what's up?
Unmyung. This is Unmyung, baby. This is what I'm talking about. Unmyung.
Wow, that's just crazy, man. Half price bookstore. He got it for $2. They spent $2, right?
Yep. $2 for this is $2.50 actually. $2.50 for Neil Adams signed 38 out of 100 copy of Black Panther 1, Neil Adams variant.
So half price books sell floppies as well, do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean,
this one.
I
picked up this one for half a cover. All of them.
Ooh.
I ruined my half price bookstore in Oklahoma. I had one in Oklahoma, and I used to go pick it up and pick up good deals like that. Not as good as those, but as soon as people figure that out, they will pick out all those good books like he just got. They will put that into a collection area under the window, under the display.
Yep.
And then the rest of them will be, still be maintain half price, but those collectible would be like whatever the eBay price would be. But
I'm assuming half price books is more of a bookstore than a comic shop, right?
Well, so it is mostly books, but they've got toys, they've got games, they've got Legos. I mean, they have VHS, DVDs, all kinds of knickknacks.
It starts with the books, though.
It starts with the books. Yeah.
It starts with what is supposed to be is that whenever you go in there, books supposed to be half the whatever
retail.
Half the retail price. If it's 20 cents, it's 10 cents. That's what it's supposed to be at the get-go. And you used to get really good deals. You used to buy like Stephen King hard books for like $3 sometimes. And I mean, you used to get really good deals. Then they decided that hey, we're going to become a collectible store.
Oh.
And they start putting these displays in, and under the display they have these are collectibles that they're no longer half price. So one of the skits that I was going to make up was you go into the half price bookstore and none of it is actually half price. It's like that's a collectible. Well, these books right here. They used to sell for like dime, but hey, minimum price is dollar. You know, so they would say,
So that's interesting that you mentioned that. So anything under $1, which is an older comic, right?
uh,
We're talking. I think comics hit the dollar mark in 1989, 88 or 89. They hit the dollar mark. So we're talking anything before 1989 has a, you know, some mid to early copper to bronze and before. So anything with a lower than dollar cover price at Bellevue store will be priced at $1 or more. They'll put a sticker on it. They just can't sell things for 10 cents or 6 cents. So
yeah, because
on an older book they'll price it out. So where you're gonna find that bargains are like right in the dollar range, $1.50 range. That'll be sold for like 75 cents or 50 cents. So yeah.
Okay, nothing like that here. That'd be awesome. I always wonder, I wonder if there's like collectible novels like in that scene, if there's, because I've never really been much of a reader of novels and other books. I wonder if there's actually, rare books and things. I'd imagine.
yeah, of course. There's rare books. Like if we get those Star Wars books.
Yeah, you've got some of those, yeah.
Yeah, those Star Wars books that are like even paperback, they're like selling for like $40 instead of $2-3 there. If it's in good condition, they're worth more. And novels, what they even look for misprints. Like if there's some kind of misprints in there, then it's worth something more. I mean, the whole book collection has its own little culture and things. So they're definitely.
In fact, books are actually, if you talk about collectibles, like things, if you want to talk about like value, books actually retain a lot more value than comic books as collectibles, right? It's just that, they're anything worth collecting is going to be a first print. And it's just, I think book collectors are just few and far between, right? So it's just the older books are going to be worth a lot more, right? Like a first print, let's say, for example, like just to throw something out there, like first print Isaac Asimov novel, right? One of those is going to probably be worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. It's just who goes out, runs around and looks for first print Isaac Asimovs and uses books.
I mean, try and look for Bible, for instance, of old print Bibles. Those are worth a lot of money.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
probably
yeah. But they start out as I guess even back when they started, they used to have collectible books, but they got. I mean, I used to pick up heavy metal books, those heavy metal magazines.
Yeah,
I used to be able to pick those up for a half price. Not no more. They put that they put it into the display, the collectible area.
So Simon, tell us more about what it's like in Australia. If I were to go into a comic book shop, I'd be picking up, because I know back in the day they had their own Australian price on.
Yeah, back in the day,
back in the day, right? Not anymore. So you're buying essentially an American or an international book that has $1 cover price on it, and that would just translate into Australian dollars.
So most shops, it's almost double here. So it depends on the shops. Like, so where I shop at Big City Comics, originally he was a lot cheaper than the other stores. But now, because he's a smaller shop, his prices have gone up a couple of times, especially during COVID. So like I pay like a $4.99 book US price is about $11 here now.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's why I all my hauls every week are like $200+ sometimes. So it's pretty rough.
Wow.
So I'm cutting back, but it's hard.
I mean, the amount of books you buy, the new ones, man, that's a huge budget.
Yeah, I've cut so I did my pre-orders the other night, and it's the smallest. Like I'm starting to slowly get better at just stuff that I want but I don't need. Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm getting better at it. So, but yeah, when I was a teenager, so I've got a couple of books that I've still got from when I was a kid, and some of those will have Australian, New Zealand pricing.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was about to say that the Jim Lee, like the early Jim Lee books, they all have Australian price variants.
Yeah.
So how
'Cause that's-
long ago they stopped that?
Probably in the 90s, right?
I don't know because I got out of comic books for a long time.
Okay.
But I wonder. I mean, to you guys, is that worth more? Because there's a store down here, the store that I hate the most. They'll sell an Australian price variant for like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It's ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, yeah, like they'll be
They're
selling
worth
like
more because they're rarer here. Yeah.
yeah. I get for you guys,
For
but
us,
for
yeah.
here,
We'll
It's
send
kinda
you
like-
some. We'll send you some U.S. price variants for Australian price variants.
it's like the pence variants. Like the pence variants are always worth less, but they should be more scarce. So shouldn't they be more?
Yeah, why is it
Valuable.
10 cents less than Australian very more? That's what I don't get.
I think that it depends on which pence variants you're talking about, though. If you're talking about like Bronze Age pence variants, because that's when they stopped putting them out, right?
Yeah, but I talked to I was in England. I'm gonna put this video out soon too. But by the way, I was in this little comic shop in Bath, UK, and the guy was like, "I'm looking." I talked to the owner, and I'm looking for days when US recognizes pence variant. Pence variant is not it. He's looking for the days, waiting for the days when it will become a.
Does he have a bunch of Silver Age like pence
He had a
variants?
whole bunch of Bronze Age books.
Wow. Yeah. See, I think those are starting to catch on as like the reason people don't collect them here because they're just so rare. Like, how often do you run into a pence variant in America? It's almost like you'd be more you'd be more likely to run into an Australian price variant, to be honest. Just the distance, right, is not that it's closer, but it's
So we also had comic. Actually, I can show you some. We had back in the day, and this is before. Like, I don't remember this, but this is obviously I've learned this since I got back into comics. Was back in the day they used to do reprints of DC and Marvel books, and the DC ones weren't even like they weren't labeled DC Comics. They were through a different publishing company here, so they were actually black and white reprints, but they had the same covers. So I've got some in the mail.
Yeah.
Give me a sec.
Yeah, let's look at some of those.
yeah. Again,
Rise in chain bookstores, internet, people reading less for pleasure, contribute to closure of family-owned bookstore that stores serious books.
Gore brings up a great point. Like, if you were to run into a Hugo or a Hemingway first print, like that's like Christie's auction worthy like book, right? It's just worth a lot of money. It blows anything you could buy in comic books in terms of value, right? Because those are like first prints from like Hemingway was at what, the turn of the century, 1920s. Victor Hugo, the previous century. So it's like you're talking about like really, really old, like rare, probably minimal print count type books.
But I heard like mangas, they don't do first prints. It's just prints. like I heard.
No, mangas do have first print.
Oh, really?
Do they?
Yeah, it's the same. It has the same collectability. Like if you have a first print of a manga, it's worth way more than.
Because I heard most of these mangas, they just kind of release them, and they don't really have like the first print, second print thing.
So like if is there a way to distinguish between a first print and a second print?
There is a way to distinguish between a first print, but everything after the first print is the same.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
I see.
All right, so this is one. So Planet Comics, this is one is called, and these are like old DC books.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, they used to just have these weird titles. Superman Presents what?
And
World's
then the inside
Finest.
is completely black and white.
And it's all black and white on the inside. Oh, that's good. Oh wait, yeah. So there's two in here. The other one is actually a classic cover, but this is the Aussie reprint. This is actually my second copy of this.
Why wouldn't they color it though?
Probably because it cost them less, maybe.
Well, yeah, I noticed a lot of British weekly magazines. I mean, comic magazines were all black and white.
What year is that from, though?
This. Hang on, let me have a look.
Hello, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Bubs, what's going on? Oh, right on time actually, because he'll know this one. So I'll show you this one. I've got another classic cover though. The other one is. So inside is all.
Educate us, Bob. So here's the link. If you
Wow, that's beautiful. It almost looks better black and white.
I like black and white art.
It's it's more artistic.
But so the reason I picked this up, I'm trying to stock up on these. So if I ever send people, AOKs and stuff, I can send them some Australian sort of stuff. So this is my second copy of this. Actually, this is a classic cover that a lot of people will know. Bubs will definitely know it.
Wow, the bondage covers. Yeah,
Love it.
And that's black and white inside.
Yeah, sniff-worthy.
Sniff-worthy.
Wow.
Yeah.
What would be the price on that?
This was dirt cheap. I paid.
I mean now.
But I mean, the thing is, like that copy, it just doesn't exist here.
Well, that's the thing. And now I have two, and I've got the actual original as well.
You don't think that particular copy is not here?
It's a completely Australian print.
I mean,
it's
I can see
like
the title being different, but
I have an Indian comic, right? It's the same thing. It's like it's only printed in India for that market, so Americans would have no access to stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's got to be worth a lot here.
Wonder Woman 206.
You should, Simon. You should sell that on eBay, man. People will laugh it up.
Actually, it was funny that Bub showed up because I actually picked this up for him. So because eventually I'm going to send this to you, Bub. Just so you know. I'll obviously keep the better copy, of course. So, but I've locked up a few of these. So if I ever do send books out, I want to include something Australian. So I thought it'd be kind of cool.
Cool. Yeah.
That is awesome.
But yeah, I got quite a few of those. Because for
those are just like regular like Bronze Age comics in Australia.
Yeah, well, I've got one that's like the Judas Contract, right? So it's the first.
Hold on, guys. I want to show you something really quick.
Okay, go for it. Wow, the art inside's great.
So they were all kind of like reprints. Did you
look at that?
Yeah,
look at that.
That's a cover.
That's the same cover except different titles, right?
Yeah. Well, so I've got that one as well.
It's a
reprint.
Yeah.
That one you're showing, I paid a lot more money for that than I did for these. So
I mean, essentially it's a reprint right around the same time though, right?
I would imagine so. But also I don't know if the stories inside are the same either because the Nightwing one I've got I think it's the entire Judas Contract in one book.
Okay.
Or maybe it's two because it's got the first Nightwing, but it's just called Judas Contract. It's not like, it's like 4 parts. It was just like Judas Contract and all in the one book sort of thing.
So those, it sounds like these are, correct me if I'm wrong, it's an ongoing series that just reprints books as they come out, or is it just reprinting DC classics?
I don't know because they're all different titles too. So these ones are both World's Finest. There was another one that's just called Superheroes. I've got quite a few.
Do they all have different print dates though, like printing dates?
Yeah, I'm trying to actually find the
front cover.
Date. Yeah, it's not on it though. It just says where it was printed. So Murray Publishing. Yeah, Murray Publishing. So there's Murray Publishing, and then there was like one called, I think it's called Newton Comics, and those ones are much more rare. So people who are real foreign collectors, they'll try to find the Newton comics. And Mark, who owns my comic shop, he's got a bunch of them, and he recently started selling them for hundreds of dollars. So
Okay.
they're much more rare.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see collectors paying hundreds of dollars for that.
Hey, K-pop, how are you?
What's up, K-pop?
Yeah, I can't see a date on it though. But yeah, a few Phantom comics. Yeah.
So if I go shopping for back issue bins in Australia, and I find Jim Lee comics, they're all going to have like Australian price.
No, not necessarily. Sometimes, and sometimes it depends where, I guess. Like, so this sort of stuff you won't find in comic shops. You'll find mostly at like antique type stores that would sell comics. You might find these in there. Jim Lee books. Most of the stuff I find is still, a lot of it is just the regular US edition still, and then sometimes you'll find, you know what it is. I think maybe newsstand versions here maybe were the Australian price variants, because that's where I used to always buy my books when I was a kid at a newsagent. So.
Oh, so when they used to sell it on the racks.
Yeah, so you guys have newsagents over there? It was just like where you buy the newspaper and magazines and stuff. So I used to go there as a kid, and that's where I bought all my comics.
That. I mean, we don't have those anymore, but we used to have those.
I think in New York they might have some. I don't know.
I could get comic books at my supermarket. They were on the spinner racks. I remember going there and begging my mom to get me a comic.
Hey, Comic Journey.
What's up, Journey? Oh, Trev's here. The whole gang's here, man.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Isn't it crazy late for you guys?
It's getting late. It's like 10 p.m.
Well, I'm still in what do you call it? Insomniac.
Jet lag.
No, it's Comic Journey is Insomniac video stream. So Comic Journey, you could try to steal it back. No, hold on. Let me go ahead and make you big. So, Neil Adams signature book, Black Panther 1, 38 out of 100.
Picked it up for $2.50
at Half Price Bookstore.
At Half Price Books.
He's trying to make me jealous.
I'd go so broke if I was over there. If I went over to see the stuff you guys get, I wouldn't have enough luggage to bring it back.
Well, the thing is, like, they've got a lot of garbage at Half Price Books too. It's not like everything is like a worthy key book. They've got a lot of stuff that's probably not worth half price, but every now and then you'll find that gem like that.
Yeah, especially when we go to that 25-cent comic book store.
Oh yeah, that's what we're hoping. Hoping. Tell them, I found signed books in the bins, so there's signed books in there. I found 2 signed books before. So
yeah, I mean,
there.
You told me that place that I want to. I find these books for $1. I mean, come on, man. I mean, these are like 12-cent books for $1. Yeah. I'll pick up these any day. I will just pick it up.
You're gonna find a couple of those. You're gonna find a couple of those for 25 cents tomorrow.
What sounds kinky? What happened?
Yeah. No, man. How dare you? He's like, what's going on down there?
CJ says sounds kinky. I don't know. CJ's ruining. He's trying to make my channel porn channel.
CJ's hitting on our guests again. He's hitting on the guests.
I have found so many signed books for 50 cents. So
yeah,
Simon's going to come to the United States here soon because
Simon, you can stay with us if you come up here. You'll stay a few nights at NammaN's place, and you can stay a few nights at my place.
I'll be in DC, so a lot of time I'll be in DC. And, yeah. So
you're gonna split time?
Yeah, I'm gonna split time between.
But your wife is here.
Yeah, my wife is here, so DC I'll be a little more freer.
I see what's going on. You're trying to get away from her, huh?
No.
Or she's trying to get away from you. What was I see what's going on. Well, that sucks. I thought you were gonna be here kind of like steady.
No, I'm gonna split between the two
Okay.
places. You know,
Like summers or what? Like winters, holiday seasons?
just
What?
random,
Just random. Okay.
Because I telework and I could work either place. One is primary. This is
Yeah.
primary.
What if you start renting the house out in Virginia? Then you'll come here?
Yeah, I
Full
mean,
time?
that is secondary place. I'll be there to show that, hey, you cannot mess my house up. you know.
Yeah.
You know, so
Understood.
yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Being the landlord.
Yeah.
People
Yeah. Awesome. Nice
How
to
many
find-
how many sort of local shops do you guys have in your sort of area that you can travel to?
So that's actually a great question. So we actually have quite a bit of presence here in Washington. I would say in the Puget Sound area, which is like if you were to drive around the Sound, you could do it in a day, but it's basically Seattle an hour up, Seattle hour down, hour east, hour west. So you're talking about like a good distance. In that Puget Sound area, there are probably, over 10 to 15 good comic shops. And of those 10 to 15, there's probably 3 that I frequent regularly that have the back issue bins. That's the big thing for me. If you're a comic book shop, you've got to have a wall, comic book wall of keys as well as back issue bins. Because there are shops here that sell like toys, like Funko Pops and like all the modern stuff without any back issue bins, or just selling books that come out for the week.
Yeah.
And so those shops, they're nice. They have good, if you're into toys and stuff like that, they have stuff like that. But I think for like vintage collectors like myself and NammaN, it's going to be like, well, yeah, I'd rather dig through a long box of old stuff than buy modern stuff. So
yeah, we don't have. So my shop that I shop at, he's basically a new release guy. He's got like one big cabinet full of back issues, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's not a lot at all.
You mean Mark?
Yeah, Mark he focuses on trades and new releases. He's got a few, like he's got glass cabinets with some books. Like he's got like one of his customers sells books through him, so he'll put it in the cabinet. If it sells, Mark will get a small cut, and they're the bigger books that Mark will normally have. But there's not many stores here. Like there's a store called Comics R Us, which is great for back issues, but it's still modern day back issues, stuff that's maybe in the last 10, 15 years. If you want to find your old stuff, the only store really is this place called Alternate Worlds, which I absolutely hate. Just like they don't run their business very well, but they're probably the best comic shop as far as having variety like that. But the thing is, they don't let you access their back issues. I think they do it maybe once a year, but you've got to do it online pretty much. So they're a shop, and if you go into the shop, and this is the problem I have with them, I've had a friend of mine who's been shopping there for over 20 years. He just gets screwed over and over and over again. Like he'll have books on his pull list that don't get put aside for him, and he'll be like, "Oh, how'd you guys miss that?" And they're like, "Oh, sorry." 2-3 weeks later, he sees the same book on the wall.
Up, yeah,
and he'll be like, and even he said to me, he goes, I asked him, "Hey, you guys didn't put that in my box even though it's on my pull list. Can I get it for cover price at least?" And they said no. I was like, how dare you? Anyway, if you go into that shop and you say, "Hey, you've got this on your website, can I get it?" They'll be like, it's like you're asking them to bloody kill themselves or something. They're like, oh, I could just order it online. And if you order it online, they'll take like 5 days to pick it.
Hey, CJ. You just copyrighted music, man?
That is intro music.
Who's that? What music is this?
I don't know. CJ's.
That's how Journey makes his entrance. It's his entrance music.
What? Doesn't everybody have to have a theme song?
What's your theme song? Simon,
The
Simon,
Kool-Aid. Is there a Kool-Aid theme song?
Oh, there is a Kool-Aid theme song.
Yeah.
There definitely is. I'll tell you that much.
Mine's Yabba Dabba Doo.
Well, I heard you guys talking about putting things in boxes, and I figured that that's kind of a conversation I should be pulled into. So
Yeah, well, I also try to steal your what do you call it? Insomniac live show.
well, I've been waiting and seeing who's gonna fill in the gap.
Insomniac live show.
If I'm not gonna be doing the Insomniac, who's gonna be doing it?
Yeah, well, this is it now.
Yeah, normally this time there's no one left. That's why I was surprised to see you guys on. I was like, oh, isn't that like crazy late? But I think daylight savings has happened like for us, like we have it before you guys. So we went back an hour, and then like a month or two later, you guys went back an hour as well. So there's like 3 different
time areas.
Yeah.
Oh no, hold on, let me see.
Well, what do you talk about? Nobody's left. I'm usually the one meant.
Yeah, you are.
I'm
Yeah.
usually the one that's doing the late night streams.
So by the time I come home from work, normally no one's streaming, but yeah, Journey will be he'll be up sometimes.
Wait a second.
I figured I'd jump on. I don't think I've ever shared a same live stream with you, Simon.
Never.
I don't believe it.
no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh yeah!
What did you do? What did you do? Oh no! What did you do? What did you do? He's going away. He's going away.
I grew up on Kool-Aid. I just remember making myself pictures of Kool-Aid. My parents were the worst. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're thirsty. Go make yourself some Kool-Aid."
What is Kool-Aid? Is that just like cordial?
It's like Kool-Aid is like a artificial packet of color. It's like artificial flavor.
You know what Tang is?
And
You know
color.
what Tang?
And you just mix it with water?
And you mix it with
put
sugar. You mix it with sugar and water. So
sugar and water.
You have to put sugar in there as well?
No,
Yeah,
you don't have to put
biscuit.
sugar in there. It's already sweetened.
Well, so that's the later versions, but the actual original Kool-Aid, it comes without sugar. It's like a little packet that you have to add your own sugar for the.
What the hell you talk about? How old are you, man? You're not that much older than me.
I used to go to when they have a summer.
Otaku, how old are you?
I'm 47.
So what the hell are you talking
Wow.
about? I'm 45. We're the same. They didn't have. They had. You open it up.
Yeah, that's the like Tang stuff. But if you got the packets of Kool-Aid where there's just the flavor and the color, you have to mix your own sugar in.
I don't know. We had a big bucket of it.
Yeah, that's the bucket.
Shoveled it in there. Shoveled it in there. And the redder it
Yep.
became, the sweeter it became.
Exactly. That's the way normal people did it. But
And
at our
I remember
household, I had to
you
calculate the
used to put
sugar
those ice
sugar to
trays?
packet ratio.
You know
And
those
it came
ice
with those like
trays?
special scoops. It came with like special scoop, like a big,
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
like
yeah.
a Tang
a
scoop. Yeah.
heaping scoop. It wasn't even a regular.
That's how they used to attract us at the churches. Every summer they would have a Sunday schools, and
Yeah.
that's what they would feed us: cookies and Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid.
Well,
And,
that's how every cult gets you. You don't know that?
What's this flavored sticks that K-pop's talking about?
That's why I serve Kool-Aid on my channel. You know, it's the best way to get people and brainwash them.
Is that a
Yeah.
flavored stick that dissolves in the water? Because
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't heard
there's a
that either.
little thing that they have new. I think that's fairly new, right? That little.
Oh, you're
flavor
talking
thing to make
about
your
what is it
little
called?
Soda pop.
The dipsticks. The dipsticks.
And you just pour it in and then shake it or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, we
Yeah,
had-
what you do is you lick the stick, you put it in the sugar powder, and you lick it again.
No, she's
God,
talking about one putting
we're
in
talking
cold
about
water.
licking sticks and sticking them in. like seriously, like.
But
Yeah,
Simon, you never
came
heard
here
of
with
Tang
the
though?
innocent-
Tang?
I
Never
came
heard
here
of
for an
Tang?
innocent conversation. Now you're talking about sticking licked sticks and things. You know.
Simon, you never heard of Tang? Tang?
No, I think that's
That's
an
the
American
astronaut.
thing. We
That's
just have
astronaut.
cordial. You guys have cordial, or do you guys know what that is?
Tank came about because during space travel, that's when tank came about. When they're flying to the moons and stuff.
No, I think our version of that is cordial, which is basically just like colored syrup. You pour a little bit in the cup, and then you pour water in, and that's your flavor.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
I've
I'll be
heard
right
like
back.
Tang sounds familiar. Like I feel like I might have Googled it before because I don't know when you.
It's the astronaut's orange juice, Tang. It's the way they could get vitamin C and not get scurvy in space.
Speaking of Tang, that's quite a name that they chose for that. Tang.
Tang. Tangy Tang.
It makes my mind
Tang-
go in different places.
I didn't know Tang was a good thing. I thought Tang was like a questionable thing. It's got some tang. It's got some tang to it.
Or like Putang, you know. But
Oh
you guys,
man,
you
this
guys
show.
got stuff that we never heard of. I mean, we heard of it, but
Vegemite.
they got Vegemite. They definitely got Vegemite. I'm still on a hunt to find one in a store so I could just do an experiment and eat it on live and see what the hell happens to me.
You don't eat it like I do because I've done it before where I eat it by the spoon, but that's not how you eat Vegemite. That's just me being silly.
Look what happened to your hair. That's what
Yeah, I
happened.
know, Carolina Chris bought some, and he was telling me he was doing a stream, and I was in the chat, and he's like, "Should I try it now, Simon?" I was like, "Yeah, try it now." So he goes, "I go, don't eat it like in a spoonful like I would. Like, go put it on some toast. You're supposed to put on some bread, buttered toast and bread." So he goes, "I've got some banana bread." I was like, "No, do not put Vegemite on banana bread because that would be bad." But
So
yeah,
what is Vegemite exactly?
it's like yeast or something like that. I think if you look into it, extract yeast. And it's just very salty. It's just very salty. That's all it is. But yeah, like, and I've got the Marmite. The Marmite is the British version. I've got some Marmite literally within hand's reach right here that my friend brought back from the UK for me.
Oh man.
So Brits and
just-
Aussies will always argue which one's better. So
You
Grey
just
Man
slip
will
it
tell you the
into
Marmite's better.
on toast, huh?
Yeah,
Just
just
slip it on the toast.
butter and just lightly on the toast. That's how you're supposed to have it. I love it, so I put heaps on there. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So
you're supposed
Mad,
to-
Mad Spidey had tried to explain it to me a few times. Why don't you explain what you feel the taste is like? Is it bitter? Is it salty?
well, I would say it's salty. I
Salty.
know a lot of people might say bitter. I don't know if like intense bitterness is the same as really salty.
You know have you ever
Beef
put a tongue on a battery?
on a what? A battery?
Yeah, on
No.
a battery.
Why would you do that? Normal people
No.
don't put their tongues
It's
on
acid.
batteries.
It's
Why
acid.
would you do that?
Acidic taste is or I'm trying to give you I tasted Vegemite before. That's why I'm trying to give you a little.
Battery acid.
Yeah, very acid.
Okay.
Oh my god, that's
Great.
Well, do you guys
fantastic.
remember Warheads back in the day? The
Yes.
lolly Warheads?
Yes.
And you had hot and you had sour, I think, right? I could take the hot ones when I was a kid, but the sour ones to me tasted like a salt monster shat in my mouth. It was just like an intense saltiness to me. It wasn't sour so much. So maybe that's the same thing. Some people think bitter and salty are the same.
We'll go get me another beer. Hold on.
Surströmming.
What kind of beer you drinking today, NammaN? The hell's he drinking? Right now?
He's drinking like porter, like stout.
Where's he going to? What kind of host is he? He just gets up and leaves. He doesn't even say anything. He doesn't. Let me just walk away and let everybody just talk amongst themselves.
Exactly.
Surströmming. Oh.
Only a worm would do that.
Surströmming is lightly salted fermented Baltic Sea herring, traditional to Swedish cuisine. Oh yeah.
That sounds
See,
like
I would eat that. I would eat that over Vegemite.
that sounds like an ex-girlfriend of mine.
It just sounds like anchovies or something. What's that thing they have? Where is it where they eat like it's like a rotting shark or something like that? You heard of that?
Rotting shark.
It's some country that
shark.
eats like.
I've eaten shark. I don't eat rotting shark.
Oh, you're. So I mean, there are cultures that eat fermented fish, like rotting fish.
Iceland have a national
Yeah.
dish consisting of Greenland shark or sleeper shark that has been cured and particularly fermented and hung to dry for 4 to 5 months.
Is it fish or shark?
It's a shark. It's a shark.
Okay, shark.
And it's been fermented and hung to dry for 4 to 5 months.
Yeah, Koreans eat a version of that. It's raw, rotting sashimi, like raw fish. It's like basically rotting raw fish, and it's absolutely putrid. You don't want to eat that.
Honestly, Koreans eat some crazy shit. Like
Yeah.
we Greeks eat a lot of crazy shit too, but it's crazy in a different way.
Yeah, Koreans will pretty much eat anything, I think.
Well, you got to do the live octopus, is it? Or
That's actually good. That's really
well,
good.
here's the thing. So there's a ramen place here, and they serve not live but raw octopus or squid, one of them. And I've always wanted to try it, but to have it like moving around is pretty intense.
Yeah, that's the
It'll
thing.
it'll stick to your mouth too.
It kind of stick to your throat while you're swallowing it.
Well, so you gotta chew it. You gotta chew it.
Oh.
That's the
it'll
thing.
sprinkle.
We eat octopus, but we cook it. We cook it before we eat it.
Yeah,
You know, it's kind of
it's no
like,
fun that way. You gotta have
imagine.
it moving
Well,
around.
you're eating it. It sticks his tentacles in your nostrils and tries to like.
They want the ultimate freshness, CJ.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this is the ultimate in Japan. What they do is they'll kill a fish fresh.
Is to eat
They'll-
bull nuts over here.
They'll basically, what is it? Spear right through a live fish, and then slice it up open and cut, like kind of spread it open and cut open, and have the raw pieces of fish there that you can dig out, and the fish is still moving. It's still moving when they serve it to you. So it's like dying basically in front of you as you're eating its body. So they do that in Japan, and it's delicious to eat it that way because it's.
Don't you think that's
absolutely
kind of
fresh.
cruel to like?
It is cruel. It is cruel.
It's
but,
kind of cruel, isn't it?
like
Like
you're killing it.
Yeah,
you're
but it's
killing
just
it
as cool.
anyway.
Isn't it
You're
just as cool
killing
to
it
chuck
anyway.
the lobster into like a boiling pot? You know.
Yeah, but you don't have to look at it while you're eating it while it's dying.
I remember my dad
Yeah.
made crab a bunch of times when I was young because my parents had a restaurant growing up, and I remember he'd buy the crabs from the market and they'd be alive. So before he cooked them, he'd like always cut them loose to let them run around for a bit before they got cooked.
No, you're muted.
Oh yeah, no man, you've
No,
been
you're
muted for
muted.
like the last 10 minutes.
Keep it muted. It's better. This show's more interesting without him on. There you go. There
Okay,
you go.
I'm back.
So what was so important, Worm? What was so important? You had to get up unannounced. You just get up and leave, and like, yeah, I'm working.
I had to get another beer.
What kind of beer is that? Tell us all about the fantastic beer you had to get up and leave us with. For.
Black butter porter.
Nice.
Where the hell do you find these things? Black butter. What's black butter supposed to be?
Black. I said I don't think it's
Black butter sounds like
Oh,
Vegemite.
Black Butte. It's Black
Black
Butte.
Butte. Black Butte.
Oh, black.
Porter.
Like
Oh,
a mountain.
black
It's
butt.
it's a dark beer.
Sounds like a sex lube to me.
Black butt beer.
Black
Oh.
butt.
But I was saying
Yeah.
that
That sounds good.
I
Black
feel
butt beer.
guilty about eating squids because they're intelligent animals. That I realize squid eat each other. So that's-
See, I honestly, I don't feel guilty about eating things, but to eat it while it's still moving in front of me, that bothers me a little bit.
yeah, I would do not want to do that to a monkey. I would not want to eat monkey meat that way. Monkey brain, you know the.
Like in what was it? What movie is it? Is it Temple of Doom?
Yeah, I know.
Monkey brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like I think Journey brings up a great point. Like in Western culture, you don't look at sashimi like you cook things, right? You don't think things raw are for consumption. Whereas in Asia, raw fish, the fresher, the right off the kill, like you get it out of the tank, you kill it, you chop it up, and you serve it. That's fresh, right? You
Well,
don't
I
eat it
love
like that.
sashimi. Don't get me wrong. Sashimi, I love. I don't like sushi, believe it or not, because I feel like it complicates the flavors too much. I like everything separated. That's why I like
yeah.
sashimi better because I
Yeah.
can taste the fish better that way. And then if I want rice on the side, I'll eat it on the
And
side.
that's what I'm saying. You would never eat frozen sashimi, right? I mean, people do. People like tuna. You have to freeze it because there's no way for you to catch a tuna and serve it fresh. So they chop it up into pieces, freeze it. So tuna sashimi is always frozen, but there's other forms of smaller fish that are fresher, and that's going to taste better if you have it freshly killed and then prepared to you right away.
I mean, once you cut off their brain, their pain sensor is all gone. So
yeah,
we have a lot of stuff in our. Here's the thing, it's weird because there are certain elements in our cuisine that we do eat a lot of stuff that's raw. We eat a lot of the different things, the different fish types that are free, or sea urchins. It's a big thing. We'll just take them right out of the ocean, cut them open, put a little bit of lemon on it, and boom, you're done.
Boom. That's the best thing on earth. That's the best thing on earth.
Stuff like that we'll do. The living part is that freaks me out. Freaks me out. Like the whole like alien.
Octopus leg is
in my nose.
Cut away from the brain though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cut away from the brain.
It's just the nerve. It's the nerve endings moving. They're dead. Yeah. It's not that they're actually alive. Actually, I take that back because the fish is actually gasping for air as it's like being eaten. So it's actually probably feeling air.
It's funny that CJ says he likes sashimi but not sushi because most people that say they don't like sushi, they always say the same thing. I don't like sushi. I don't do raw fish. It's like, yeah, but sushi isn't just raw fish. So it's funny that CJ doesn't like sushi, but he does sashimi.
Yeah. Well, I told you the reason why I don't like it. I don't like the
flavors go together though.
It feels like almost like it doesn't feel like I'm having a correct meal when I'm having it. I like everything separated. I like the slices of fish separated. I like the rice separated. I like everything to be
I like mixing things together.
Like you know what kind of sushi I like as far as sushi, like all in rolls, the novelty sushi, like the commercial sushi, like the peanuts with the avocado and that kind of stuff, and the spicy Buddha rolls and stuff like that. That's fine. But the good
roll is good.
I like to have it separate.
You try Philly? They put cream cheese on there with the.
I don't like that shit. That complicates things too much. I don't like that. Don't get complicated. I like nice and simple. Like Greek culture is very strange, very very strange. We eat a lot of raw stuff, but seafood. We'll eat a lot of seafood that's raw. Believe it or not, the meat they won't eat it like. I'll eat it medium and medium-ish, but your typical person that you grab from Greece, they'll eat it well done, burnt. That's how they have to have it. Why? Why? Because they grew up that way from like World War II and World War One, and then years of slavery that they were under. That they had to cook everything completely because a lot of times it was rotting, and they wanted to make sure that it was like you're not going to get infected by anything or like get sick. So they had a whole everything, and that stayed with the culture.
Greek food's always like char grilled and stuff, right?
But the fish, there's a lot of fish, like especially the shellfish, raw. Everything's raw.
Yeah,
I love a good medium rare.
Has anyone here eeaten raw shrimp? Like absolutely just fresh killed shrimp, like you deshell
gross.
It's great.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's great. And
I gotta have right seasoning for that. I'm
telling you, it's the best thing you'll ever eat. It's sweet. It tastes.
I don't know if
sweet.
I like the texture.
I don't like the texture of it.
Yeah,
I don't like the texture of it.
What about oyster? You eat oyster, right?
You got oysters.
I prefer clams over oysters, personally. I know.
Do you eat raw oysters or cooked oysters?
Raw.
Yeah.
Raw. Yeah.
Raw's the best.
Raw, but I like the consistency, the texture of the clams more than the oysters for some reason. I'm like probably in the minority of that.
No,
I like firm type of.
The oysters are a weird texture for sure.
I'm telling you, like baked
snack,
oysters,
right?
grilled oysters are the best. Baked clams, grilled clams are the best.
But a sea urchin is awesome, even though it's mushy on the inside. but you especially you get a good one that has a lot of caviar in it. Like
I
you
love
want
those
to cut it.
sandwiches.
Oh my
Tastes
god!
like butter. Yeah.
Yeah, like people don't realize how good that stuff is. And you
But
can't find that
I
here.
do,
I
I do like
wouldn't
the,
eat that here.
I do like to wrap around the seaweed with the sea urchin.
And that's the
and
thing. Like,
seaweed.
if you don't get it fresh, it's gonna. There's a smell and an aftertaste if it's aged
Well,
even a little bit, like in a tank, right? So
honestly,
get that
I would not
fresh.
touch here in New York. I would not touch it. I would
Yeah.
not touch it. First of all, if it's not fresh,
Yeah, it's not
from the
good.
same day,
Yeah.
it's not good. It's
not
not good. The other thing is, I wouldn't take it from the waters that are here because sea urchins, they basically suck up all the nasty stuff from the ocean. They're bottom feeders. They're there to
They're like a shrimp. It's like
they're
a
there to
shrimp.
keep the ocean clean. So if you got waters here, like in the Long Island Sound, or like the crappy waters in the East River and all that stuff that we have around here, I'm not gonna eat that stuff from here.
Jordan, you said you like clams, right?
Yeah.
Have you tried a gooey duck from the Northwest?
A what?
We
A
do.
gooey duck.
Is that the one with the like
a penis.
long neck?
Like a penis.
I'll show you
looks
what
like
I'll show you what a picture. Let me
It's
let me
like
share my.
It's
me
like
share
a
my
long
screen.
neck clam.
Yeah.
It's like a penis. It looks
Yeah,
just like a
I'll
penis.
show you. I'll show you what it is.
I think I know what you're talking about. Long.
I don't think I've had sea urchin. I was just looking at pictures and I was like, I don't know if I've ever
This is a
had
gooey
sea urchin.
duck.
Where's the gooey duck?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've had that. It's not my
Yeah.
favorite, but I've had it.
This is really good actually. Because
What?
so basically that skin that you see, you peel that off, and what's under it is like
Don't tell me that doesn't look like a penis.
it's like a clam. It's
That one
really
with
a-
the hand holding it up. Yeah.
you can cut them up and make clam steaks. They're essentially clam steaks, like the best part of the clam.
It has the same kind of texture, almost like conch. If you ever had that.
Yeah, conch is good.
Yeah. This is good stuff. This is
Look at that
good,
three penis right there.
good expensive stuff here. Yeah, gooey duck. So I'm grossing everybody out, but
See, some stuff though as well is did you just boot him?
He showed his cock off and left.
Yeah, what happened to him? He left.
Yeah, I've only had it. I've only had it cooked, but I'm
CJ
not
said
sure.
you show off your cock and left.
so this is the interesting thing about gooey duck. You have to cook it and eat it, and it's really one of the best things you can eat. But Koreans want to eat it raw. For like every Korean I've met, they're like, "Oh, that looks good."
Stuff that's
You gotta eat it
weird.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
why do you want to have to have everything raw like that? Why does it have to
They
be all
just
raw?
like it raw. They like it raw.
I don't like it raw.
Everyone loves it raw.
I don't like it raw either. I
I don't
prefer
like it
it.
raw.
I'd
I
prefer
like
it
some
grilled.
things raw.
Yeah, I mean, I eat steak almost raw.
Yeah, you know what? I've never had I've never ordered a blue steak, and I was
Black
considering
and
it. If I was going to like a really nice steak place, I've been considering next time to try it blue.
To be honest with you, Simon, don't have it don't have it black and blue. The best way to have a steak is
Hey, don't
rare.
Maybe just rare. Sorry, rare. Yeah, rare. Not,
Rare.
Yeah, okay.
Black
Okay,
and
fair
blue.
enough.
I don't know if you know what that is. Well, diners made that famous, black and blue. Basically, they take a steak that's straight out of the refrigerator that's very chilled, and they literally put it for like a minute on one side and a minute on the other side, just enough to get color, and there you go. So when you're cutting into it, it's all
Yummy.
freaking nerves and like, you know what the
Yeah.
thing is, I want it cooked enough to break the nerves in there. You know, like I don't want to chew on a steak that's very chewy and nervy and.
I do
You
like
know-
beef tataki, which is like a Japanese thing where it's pretty much raw and just see it on the outside. I do like that, and they dip it in the egg and stuff. You guys had
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
Beef
you
tartare, yeah.
seen those the teriyaki beef, those thin slice Korean bulgogi teriyaki beef. You take that raw and put it in the egg, yellow oak yolk of
Yeah.
milk.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
very, that's very
Beef
good.
tartare. It's
Yeah.
basically beef tartare.
Well, it's like the Japanese version, right?
Yeah.
But no, but beef tartare is more mincy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never had
it's-
beef tartare. I've only had tataki.
It's
the thing is,
mincy.
beef tartare is raw, but it's really not raw. If you think about it, some of the spices and stuff that they put in, the salt they put in there,
It's
it
a
cooks it to a certain extent.
lot of sushis are chemically cooked, right? So
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's not exactly raw.
I mean, people don't understand that a lot of sushi are chemically cooked. If
Yeah.
we don't, if oh, that's raw. Well, it's chemically processed, so it's a little more than just raw.
And that's the thing. Like people think that's the raw fish they put on sushi is actually fresh. It's not. You have to dry store it for overnight, so you're not getting the like you said, sashimi is fresh. That's like off the bone fish. But if you eat it in sushi, it's aged a little, at least a couple days, maybe
And that's partially why I like the flavor of sashimi more. Because you're feeling the ocean when you're eating it.
I would love to go like a fisherman's boat and just eat off the ocetion. Just
that's what we did in Korea. Yep.
I do that in Greece whenever I go fishing. Well, a lot of times we do that with the spear gun too. We'll go there and go with the spear gun. There'll be somebody sitting there with like a little grill on the beach. Yep. We'll take whatever catch, we put it on lightly, or if we go for like shellfish or urchins, I don't know what the name of it is. I don't know if this exists anywhere else, and it probably does, but everybody has a different name. There's these shellfish that are only one-sided. There's only one shell, and it goes and attaches itself on the rocks. And when you pull it out, it's got like the texture of almost like a clam in it. It is by far the best freaking shellfish I ever ate in my life. And the deeper you go, the bigger they are.
Like, it's not like an abalone or something, is it?
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know what it is.
Abalone
is top shelf seafood, man.
Is that with one side? Is that with one side shell? Like it's
it's sort of it's a hollow. Yeah, it's hollowed in out.
Yeah, it's not like a clam or a mussel or oyster where they're closed. It's not like that.
Yeah, it's not closed. Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's abalone.
Yeah, that's basically what we would do. We'd go there with a mask on. We'll go in there with a knife and like.
Koreans eat this raw too.
The other one looks like something else.
But it's good. It's good. Steamed, grilled. This is the best.
Oh, the best way is to take it straight out of the ocean.
Penises, abalones.
Have a bag of lemons sitting there for you on the beach.
Yeah.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, these are pretty good.
Abalones are good.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah, you have a nice bottle of ouzo.
That doesn't look like a penis, but you know what I mean.
So we got gooey ducks and abalones.
See that was perfect after Otaku showing off his sea cock.
Gooey duck.
This is gooey abalone.
I'm telling you, those things. You have to have them once. I would have them every summer whenever I would go down.
They're expensive, man. Those things.
I would get them for free. I would go right off the rocks.
That's crazy.
So my parents used to. My parents used to go diving for these back before they enforced. Basically enforced wildlife preserve laws in Washington State.
Oh, okay.
They used to do a lot of illegal fishing and illegal shell fishing and stuff. So.
A lot of Korean ladies in Jeju Island, that little island in South
dive down
Korea,
for those.
They will dive down. That's their lifetime job. That's their lifetime job. Dive into the ocean.
I tried to talk my wife into abalone farming in Hawaii. Like we could just farm abalone and export it to China and make a living, I'm sure, in Hawaii. But she's like, no, we're not doing that.
The water's probably appropriate for it too.
Well, no, you grow them in tanks, not in the water. You grow them in tanks.
Well, how would how would the taste be comparison to out in the wild to the farmed ones?
Probably you're right. Probably the wild ones are tastier, but because it's you want to be economic about it, like you're controlling all the elements, so you're not leaving it to like a bad season or anything. You just you basically take these like seeds and you put them in a tank with
Oh
some
yeah.
water, with some like food, and then they grow them by themselves. They just
I could see
Yeah.
that. The BFIT is saying the heavily policed there.
They're supposed to be heavily policed everywhere. In Greece, for years, you had people running around with dynamite and killing everything within the reach of wherever the dynamite
that's
was.
horrible.
That's how they used to do it. Yeah, for years. Then they started cracking down on them.
Wow.
But they end up destroying the freaking Mediterranean Sea because of it.
Yeah, I don't
The
see
Italians
those.
and Portuguese used to do it too.
When the people doing those little snorkel diving and stuff, they used to show a lot of colorful pictures. I don't see that anymore.
In Greece,
No, in any of the people's snorkel videos. I remember when
because they're banning snorkeling.
no, because they're killing off these whatever the things that makes colors in the ocean. Those
I think there's still
Coral, you mean
of
the
that.
coral?
I-
Yeah,
I-
Australia. What's going on with the Great Barrier Reef? Is it like dead now? What's
Yeah, I don't know, but I have read something about it. You might be
like
correct.
it's at risk, right? The pH levels are pretty bad over there.
Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, coral. Yeah.
I don't know. The thing
Coral,
about
yeah.
Australia that freaks me out is the damn crocodiles they got there. You guys eat them?
You can. I've never tried it. I reckon it would taste. I reckon the meat would be.
I've had alligator.
A friend of mine said, "Oh, it's like chicken." I was like, "What is it really? Is it?" Because I would have thought that an alligator or a crocodile would have more like a seafoody type meat texture. That's just my guess. I've never had it.
Well, how's the alligator taste, CJ?
Bland, to be quite. I mean, I've had it down in the South, and I've even had it here in New York once. You have to really season it. Like they put a lot of like Cajun spices and stuff.
Does it
like
have a
that.
gamey taste at all?
Not a gamey taste. It is kind of firm. I've had it fried, like fritters. Like they will cut like chunks of it and fry it up, and that's like, it's okay. Like it's nothing like I would say I want to run and go. Like if I was starving and the world was a problem of having no food and we had to eat alligator, it wouldn't devastate me. That was what I had to eat. It's not horrible, but it's not exactly like something like. Do you like chicken?
I don't like chicken that much. I don't like
Me neither. But
Yeah.
you know what? If you had to eat it,
Yeah.
you eat it, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's how I feel about alligator.
Yeah.
You know,
The
KFA, huh? Kentucky Fried Alligator.
the have you ever tried a buffalo steak?
oh, from buffalo meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that. I don't
I've
like
never
it.
had buffalo meat. I hear it's good though.
It's very lean. So here's the thing:
Oh.
it dries really fast. Especially if they don't know how to cook it, it's not. It's got like a different smell to it too. It's got like an earthier like smell to it. It's okay. It's okay, but it's super lean. So if you want a good steak to have, and you're gonna pay $50 for a good steak, or like, and you have to choose between like an Angus steak or a buffalo, I would go with the Angus because it's got a little bit of fat intake on there. It's juicier, you know.
Hey, Sleepy.
It could be cooked the right way, you know.
But yeah, buffalo burgers. Yeah, I mean, the steak. I don't know. I had once, and I prefer steak. I prefer.
That's what I'm saying.
That-
I
Kangaroo
prefer.
meat's similar as well. It's very lean. Kangaroo meat.
Have you had kangaroo?
Yeah.
How about
I don't dislike it, but I don't love it.
Just like
do people
venison.
eat koalas?
No, we definitely don't eat koalas, man. They're endangered.
Well, buffalo has been in danger for a while, right?
No, they
Buffaloes are not endangered
now-
anymore.
Now
Yeah,
they're
they're not
breeding them.
endangered
They
anymore.
got farms for buffaloes and stuff like that. You ever had deer meat, venison?
I've had elk meat.
I had
I would like to try that.
Deer jerky.
I like
had
it.
deer-
I like it a lot. It's got its unique taste and smell to it. But you have to know how to cook it because it could dry up really fast because it's very
Yeah.
very lean.
Deer
But
jerky is pretty good. Deer jerky is pretty good, and I don't think you can mess that up.
the difference between that and the buffalo is it's got almost like a sweet taste to it. I guess from all the berries and stuff that they eat and whatever they're eating, they eat different things than buffaloes. So it's got a really really nice like taste to it. But again, you got to really know how to cook it. How did this turn into a cooking show? I came here to talk about like pornographic things, and we're talking about cooking.
Well, we had plenty of pornographic things as well.
Yeah, we did. You know,
That related to cooking,
wheat duck and the abalone.
I would eat a koala beef. I don't know if it wasn't
they're
endangered.
endangered. Leave them alone.
If it wasn't endangered, I would eat it. I guess. So I would have.
And they took a massive hit because we had bushfires here really bad, like a couple of years ago, and a lot of koalas.
Yeah.
It was real sad, actually.
Did they at least
Koalas
eat
don't
them
have a
after
lot
they
of
got
meat.
cooked?
They don't have a lot of meat on them.
I've never tried rabbit. Isn't rabbit like a
Rabbit tastes like chicken. Rabbit tastes
Really?
Yeah, I feel like I had rabbit once. I didn't like it.
I've had it a lot of times. It's part
And
of
I've
the
had
culture.
frog. I've had frog too. Frog tastes
Isn't
like chicken.
rabbit
too.
like a cat?
I'm not a big
class?
fan.
Class?
I'm not a big fan of rabbit.
Isn't rabbit cat class, or is it rodent? Isn't
It's a
rabbit
rodent.
rodent?
It's a rodent.
Yeah, that's it.
It's more cat than rodent, if you think about it. It's got a lot more features that a cat does than a rodent does.
It's a crodent.
Is it
Yeah.
is it a
rodent.
vegetarian or is omnivorous or
It's vegetarian.
is
Oh, it is, is
vegetarian?
it?
Well, rabbits
It's
are
not.
vegetarian.
It's not eating other animals. If that's what you're asking. Rabbits that only eat
I mean,
grass.
squirrel eats other squirrels.
I've never eaten a squirrel. That I never eaten. I know that some wild hillbillies around they like eating squirrels and raccoons and stuff like that. I've never eaten that.
Shark steak. I
Raccoons,
tried shark
ew.
steak before.
Listen, I'll try anything if it looks presentable on a plate.
I provide the link
That's the
if
thing.
anybody want to
That's
come
the
up
thing.
and
If you were to
hand-
take any kind of meat from an animal and cook it and season it and just present it like, hey, this is meat.
Yes,
you
exactly.
Probably,
You
you
can't
probably
say-
wouldn't know what it is.
You can't say what it is because it's a mental thing sometimes that
Yeah.
like so a friend of mine, so I don't think I could eat a dog, right? That's pretty hardcore. A friend of mine, and he's Aussie, right? He went to Vietnam and they were traveling for like, you know, he hadn't eaten in like 15 hours. Then he got the first stop, he was like, I need food. And they were like, what do you want? He's like, I just need meat. So all they had at this place was dog. And he's like, oh man, he's like, I guess so. And he ate it and he goes, dude, I'd go back for more. I was like, are you serious? But I think it's a
No,
mental thing, man. If
actually-
you don't know what it is, you can eat it.
It's a mental thing, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Dog meat was pretty good because I thought it was bear meat. I mean,
What was?
So I've had
my
dog.
mom
NammaN and I have had dog. We've had dog.
one time when I was a kid, and my mom
I've
told me
had
it was bear meat, and
Yeah.
I said, "Oh,
I've had it maybe
bear."
4 or
Is
5
it a
times.
specific type of dog though? It's not just like any dog. It's a specific type or something.
It has to be. I think it has to be tonke. Mud. It has to be mud for a lot of people who raise dogs as a meat. They're normally are mutts, not
So-
like German Shepherd, not like
and
you know,
also the dogs, they're generally a certain size, meaning they're like big.
yeah, they're good sized dogs. They're
They're
not
bigger.
do they make
not,
them
not
fat?
little chihuahua.
No, they're very lean. It's very lean meat.
Oh, it's all lean meat. See,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I'm not gonna go out looking to eat it. However, if I was in Korea or if I was in Vietnam or if I was somewhere where it's
You
being
try it, yeah.
And maybe somewhere on the
and-
back road.
as long as you don't put the dog's head on the plate,
No, nothing like that.
as long as they don't do that, I will have it. I will try it.
So NammaN and I both said we're opposed to eating the dog. We don't like Koreans just don't do that anymore. This is it's a post-war thing. It got people through, you know, the post-war period, eating dog soup and stuff like that. And they attached this like, you know, notion, hey, this will help your, you know, like sexual stamina, basically.
Like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is completely unscientific, right? But what we're opposed to is they cruelly. So Koreans believe you have to beat the dog to death to get the adrenaline and tenderize the meat, and that's where it gets to be like,
No way,
no,
no.
Yeah, but that's actually
no
the
way.
opposite because if you beat it to death, it's going to tense up more.
Right.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
yeah, that
absolutely
is
just not based in any
it's
kind of
yeah, it's,
science or like just
and
knowledge or
no, it's
anything.
not. It doesn't make you more manly or anything like that either.
No,
And
there's
Maybe
nothing
maybe
like
it makes
that.
them feel more manly for beating up a dog and like getting all their aggression out on it before they eat it. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is.
but
It's a
the one thing I
bad
noticed,
practice.
I saw this one of those cooking show in the United States, and they were raising pigs, and they raised these pig as pets at first. They even give them names like oh, we're gonna call this pig Daniel, and they raise it up, and
Pigs are intelligent animals. They're
and
smarter than dogs.
then they barbecued it, and they will eat these. These are cooking show, right?
That's
In the United States.
That's
that's
what my grandpa.
horrible.
And they were
That's
eating it. Oh,
horrible.
Mark tastes good. I mean, whatever they call Daniel tastes
My
good. I
my
mean,
grandpa traumatized me when I was a kid. I would go there, hang out with him for a couple months there in the village, and he would take me because he was like he had animals. He would raise animals and then slaughter them and he keep some for himself and then sell it to the rest of the village.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what he did. All I knew he had animals. So he would take me every day and would go and feed the animals and clean them
Oh, that's horrible.
and I would pet them. And then suddenly one day he's like, "Oh, well, today is a big day." I'm like, "Okay, what are we gonna do?" He takes me and he takes the one pig. And the one I've seen this thing grow from like being a little fuzzy because pigs they have hair on them
I have a similar story. I have a
when they're
similar
That's
story.
small.
traumatic. That's
He
traumatic.
takes the freaking thing, they hang it, they slice its freaking throat in front of me. The thing is like going squealing like it's a freaking baby crying.
Mhm.
And I'm
Then
like,
it cuts it down the middle. Mhm.
yeah, right down the middle.
Mhm.
And I'm like, and while it's hanging, and it's still like
Yeah.
freaking.
Baby,
You ever see
the
you ever
baby,
see a
baby.
chicken get killed? They cut the head off, and the thing runs around still.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's exactly my story.
Yeah.
Well, you stole my story, dude.
Well, that's cool. I take your thunder, but
You stole my story. I can't believe
that
it.
traumatized the hell out of me. Didn't stop me from eating, but I
No,
don't.
it stopped me from eating.
I don't like pork all that much. It doesn't taste good.
One of the reasons why I don't like chicken is that I
There's a smell
picked
to
up
it.
2 chicks from school. After school, it was cute little yellow chicks.
Oh no.
I picked those up and I gave it to my mom. Normally they die. My mom knew how to raise them. So she raised these 2 chicks and they both happened to be male. They would always fight each other. So she got tired of it and she didn't know how to kill the chicken. It was my birthday. So she said, I'm going to treat you for birthday. And she tried to slaughter one of them and she cut the neck and it was just blood spewing everywhere. And then he started chasing me.
Oh, taste you.
That's
And I'm saying,
gross.
I'm,
This is in the house?
this is in the, it's
The
a,
yard.
yeah, well, it's a, in Korean house, there was no inside, in the, so it's
There
half
was
and
no
half.
inside. What?
I mean,
Like
it had
outside,
like,
you mean?
yeah, it's a
Yeah, like
half
a
and half.
yard, like a courtyard, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and the chicken was chasing me around. It was flying and everything. I'm going,
Well, that's horrible.
and that's when I stopped eating chicken for a long, long, long time.
That's horrible.
There's some stuff that I used to eat. I used to eat a lot more as a kid, and that I can't eat now. So when I was a kid, I could eat the fish eyeballs, and now I just can't bring myself to do it. Like I'm just like, but when I was a kid, I used to love it. Yeah, now I'm done. I retired.
In Korea, they take the tuna eyeball and they cut it up and they put that in alcohol, like soju. They put it in soju and you drink that, the eyeball in the tuna eyeball, like a chunk of
It's like
tuna
a worm in
eyeball,
a killer.
and you shoot that, and it's
Well-
supposed to.
Well, we
Again.
have it as tradition. Like if you have like if you're even a fish or whether it's an animal like a goat or a sheep or something, and let's say we roast it on a spit, the head goes to the patriarch unless the patriarch doesn't want it. You know, and they're the ones that get to eat because that's supposedly the best piece of the animal to eat, the brains and the eyeballs and all that stuff. I don't really, and the tongue. I'm not really into that.
Tongues are all right.
Yeah.
My wife loves beef tongue.
I like the ox tongue. Yeah.
I'm going to show you.
I've seen it prepared. Oh my goodness, you don't want to ever see them preparing
when I was a
beef
kid,
tongue.
I remember eating. There was like a whole plate of ox tongue, right? And I remember, and I loved it. So I was eating it and eating. I ate half of this massive plate. I reckon I got through half of it, and then all of a sudden, I started just like picturing like a cow or something, like an ox looking at me, and then just the taste in my mouth just changed, and I couldn't eat anymore. It took years before I could eat that again.
Here's me eating eyeball in London.
Eyeball it again?
What eyeball is
I
that?
saw this. I watched this.
It's an eyeball?
Oh man,
How's the
Oh.
eyeball, Dad?
so casual.
What kind of eyeball?
You don't seem very amused.
He's eyeballing the camera now.
Wait, what animal?
Look at his face.
But aren't you supposed to spit out the thing?
Is it original eyeball?
No, it was
What's
fish eyeball. Fish eyeball.
Fish eyeball.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I used to love that as a kid, and now I just can't.
I can't either.
Nah, it's not my thing. Not my thing. Like as far as the fish head, like I'll take out the meat from the cheeks.
Yeah, the
That's
cheeks
about
good,
it.
right?
And that's
The cheeks
about
are
it.
good.
Who here's had beef intestine?
This is-
Man,
you
I
keep the
tried
food-
intestine once, and I swear to God, there was this place that they have a lot of like weird stuff. Like I like tendon, I like ox tongue, and all that. And then they had intestines. I was like, I've never tried that. I'm gonna try it. And I swear to God, it tasted just a little bit shitty. I don't
Well,
know. I'm like,
we do a lot of stuff.
You gotta clean it. You gotta clean it though.
yeah, I'm sure it was, but I was just like, this tastes
Oh,
a little
It's
bit
good.
off.
we're
It's
talking
good.
about Sunday
We do a lot of
at
stuff.
the beginning of the show.
Intestines, organs.
We're talking about Sunday at the beginning of the show. Sunday
Yeah,
is
blood sausage.
Rocky
blood
Mountain
sausage.
oysters. I heard about those.
Rocky Mountain oyster. Those are the bull,
Are they like balls,
bulls.
testicles,
Yeah,
or something?
those
It's bull
testicles.
balls. That's what it is. It's bull balls.
I like
Yeah.
tripe. I like tripe.
Really?
So tripe, like
Yeah,
they
tripe's
put all that
good.
stuff in like Vietnamese noodle soup, like pho and stuff like that. So
I don't like
That's-
it.
that's
Tripe,
beef
tripe,
intestine.
tripe soup
Tripe
is
is beef.
awesome.
Yeah, tripe
don't
is
even know how
beef
to clean it right.
intestine. Yeah.
oh, is it? I
That's
thought it was like the stomach lining or something like
No,
that.
that's exactly what it is. It's stomach lining.
Yeah.
Tripe is if you know how, if whoever's preparing it prepares it the right way, and they clean it because it's.
They have to be clean though. They could get pretty
I've
nasty.
seen my mom sit there and clean it. This thing is, she sits
You
there,
have to clean
she,
it. Yeah.
she soaks it and boils it, and then she takes lemons, and she's taking the lemons and like raking them over the meat in order to like sanitize it even more. It's like all kinds of different preparations that you need for it. But once you
Yeah.
have a really nice piece of tripe that's clean, you make a soup out of it. Oh man, it's one of the best things.
So, okay,
Go some
add,
noodle.
think about what you just said, okay? Now, apply that to the intestine, which actually has like beef cholesterol and fat attached to it. It's actually better. It's
Yeah,
better.
we eat all that stuff,
Yeah.
you know, but it's got to
It's
be
better.
prepared correctly. That's the thing.
Tasted a little shitty to me. I gotta go, guys. I gotta cook dinner. Talking about all this food, so I might have you guys on in the background. But yeah, good to hang out with you
Alright.
boys.
See ya,
Thanks,
man.
Chris,
Good
man.
hanging
Have a
out.
good night.
Good seeing you,
Take
bud.
it easy,
Take
son.
care. See you guys.
Actually, we got to get to bed too because I got to pick you up tomorrow, Young. So
Yeah, we gotta get.
it's been fun though talking about food and
Very little about comic books.
yeah. I mean, we're gonna pick up a big haul
Hey,
tomorrow.
CJ, how come you don't do the Insomniac anymore?
I want to see how long it will take for other people to pick up the pace.
No, I've been waiting for it. I've been like
I did one last week.
I missed that one, but I've been waiting for a whole week.
I did it last week. I didn't do anything. I mean, Thanksgiving week, I had things that I had to do. You know, what am I gonna do to the Thanksgiving night? Like, what the hell? You know, like, you know, figure.
Did you have turkey for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I had turkey. We had turkey, and we have all kinds of things. You know,
Mm.
it's just Thanksgiving is one of those days that where you mix up your entire you mix up your entire culture's stuff and make
Yeah,
it your own. The turkey is there because it's tradition. The turkey, the stuffing, it's there. But then you got a million other sides that
Yeah.
it's no longer about the turkey. It's about like how much am I going to eat of a little bit of everything before I explode.
Yeah.
my
I've,
kids.
I've actually had I've been to a Chinese Thanksgiving where it's essentially a big Chinese banquet with like turkey in the middle. It was the oddest thing. I was like, "This is not Thanksgiving. What are you guys doing?"
Well, that's how we do. It's
Yeah.
a Greek style thing for us.
Yeah.
Liquid reader, Damien, this video is supposed to be all about us talking about the
Tomorrow's
plan.
Yeah.
Then
Damien, if you want to come to Seattle, it's a 3-hour drive. If you want to join us, you're more than welcome.
So
We'll be
you start off talking about your plans for tomorrow, and then we
Started
got
talking
talking
about
about strangely shaped.
Well, the thing is,
that look like sexual
so part of our plans tomorrow involves breakfast at a Korean restaurant. So we're talking about Korean food, and then it got
blood sausage.
Well, after this stream right now you're gonna have to videotape every single component of what you do tomorrow.
We're gonna do it.
When you go and
Yeah,
eat at a Korean restaurant, you
we'll
gotta
be recording
itemize
each other.
everything.
We're gonna do it.
And you gotta make NammaN eat another fish egg so we could see his face again.
We'll probably get something strange for us to both eat.
Yeah, let's get
You
some
wanna eat
food.
something straight?
Please go buy that.
Yeah.
Go please eat an octopus that's alive so we could see your face as it's
We could do that.
tentacles
We
in
could
its
do
throat.
that. Yeah,
We could do
we have to
that.
go to a seafood restaurant, but yeah, we could do that.
We could do that.
I would pay to watch that. Just to see it stick its tentacles right in your nose.
It's good. I'm telling you, it's one of the best things
It
you'll
would be
ever
one
eat.
of those tentacle porn.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat, my friend. So I know you guys
All
got
right.
to head. I'm heading out. Have a
All
great
right,
night,
guys.
everyone.
Yep. Good night.
Good night, chat room.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.
Let's how do I end this broadcast?